Hey everyone, this is me Rachit and welcome to yet another video. Today I want to talk about my Goldman Sachs interview experience. So I had recently cracked the interview and received job offer from Goldman Sachs a few months back, and in this video I'll be sharing how it all started, what were the type of questions they asked me, and what is the factor which I felt was crucial in helping me crack this offer. So a recruiter from Goldman Sachs contacted me over LinkedIn about this job opening, and I was like very much interested in working at Goldman Sachs because I was crazy about it since my college, and I had also failed at Goldman Sachs twice, I think, before this. Like once in internship when I was in third year, and then in the final year on the day zero. I was shortlisted. I was shortlisted for Goldman Sachs, but I was not able to crack it. So I had failed Goldman Sachs. I had failed in Goldman Sachs interview twice, and this time I said that yeah, let's make that a three. But I was very much interested in working at Goldman Sachs. It has a lot of talented people, and I wanted to work with such people and learn and have a good experience. So that's how the journey got started. I sent my resume. They were interested in that, and they said that yeah, they are willing to move forward. So they sent me a HackerRank test, and I remember that I was in Bangalore. It was a long weekend, and I thought that let's just meet some friends that I have in Bangalore. So my friend had to unfortunately go to his office, so I was sitting and getting bored. So I thought that it's a good time to give that HackerRank test that I have received from Goldman Sachs. So it was pretty easy. It had around 3 problems and a bit of MCQs. It was majorly focused on dynamic programming trees kind of questions. It was like fairly easy. I was able to do that in I think 45 minutes. And post that, I remember that there were a few phone conversations that happened. I mean, phone interviews, and they were also based on like the interviewer introduces himself, then asks me to introduce where I'm working, what am I doing, what is the background like, and then he used to ask me some question, and then I used to like first convey the solution over the phone, and if he's like, yeah, you are going right, let's implement this. At that point of time, we will move on to code pair, which is something like where you can code and the interviewer can see what you're doing, and you can also connect, like have those phone conversations over that. So that's a good platform, and I was able to crack that. Post which they invited me to their Bangalore on-site, and it was one tiring day, I would say, because it's Bangalore, and the only thing that I fear about that is traffic. From airport to the city, it took 2 hours or something like that. Whereas the flight from Hyderabad to Bangalore was also 2 hours, or I think 1 hour. So yeah, it took me more time to reach to my friend's place from the airport than it took me to reach to Bangalore city from Hyderabad. And one interesting thing over here is that Bangalore, like Goldman Sachs was covering the expenses for flights, but they were not giving me hotels, or they were not even covering food, which is kind of weird. Like food is, I think, hardly 200 rupees a meal, and Goldman Sachs was ready to reimburse me for the flight expenses, and I had to do that in a short while. So that took like I think 15,000 or 13,000 just to like the to and from Hyderabad to Bangalore. So that was pretty expensive, and they were not ready to cover food. I'm not sure why. I think it's a very small cost, but yeah, that's how it was. And on the day of my interview, the interviewer called, like the HR, the person with which I was working with for this past few months. I think this process took around 1.5 to 2 months. Like the HackerRank test, the phone calls, the phone interviews, and then the final on-site stage. So I had been working with some HR folks. So that I got a call in the morning that it's traffic. It's Bangalore. It's Bangalore, and you know the traffic over here. So please leave on time and all those things. And I was like, yeah, I have been to Bangalore previously, and I know it's easy. Like I'll be on time. I will just leave 3 hours before. So I was ready and I was about to leave, but I couldn't find any cabs. I was super late. I had to call the HR and say that I will be late. I'm so sorry about this. I never knew that getting an Uber in Bangalore is also that much challenging. I think it took me around 45 minutes to finally get to the Bangalore office of Goldman Sachs from my friend's place. And the HR was very supportive in this, and they adjusted. They made sure that the recruiters the interviewers are informed about that, and it was pretty smooth for me. Once I reached over there, the rounds were amazing. Like I reached around at 10:30 or 11 a.m. and I remember that I left the office at around 8:30 p.m. So that's around 10 hours or 9 to 10 hours of interviews that I had over there, with a few breaks in between, like lunch breaks and small 5-10 minutes breaks in between the interview rounds. But the questions were very much interesting. And by the end, I think it was 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. that I'm having these interview rounds with the interviewers, and I'm stuck on some basic problems, and I'm saying that I'm not sure it's not going to happen. My mind is not working anymore. And it was pretty fun. And most of the questions, I know you want to hear that. So most of the questions were based on linked list, trees, dynamic programming. I do have one very interesting question that I will be covering in this video. But the questions were amazing. They are very much known for their math questions. Like if you talk to some of your friends who are working in Goldman Sachs or who have received offers from Goldman Sachs, they really ask a lot of questions on math, like a lot of questions on math. But for me, they simply ask me data structures and algorithms throughout my interview course, from the hackathon test to the phone calls, the phone interviews, and also on the on-site day. They asked me just data structures and algorithms based questions. Few of them were also like design based, but they were not they were not that difficult. It was very much easy for me. But yeah, data structures and algorithms was a bit challenging, and I had been doing competitive programming for a long time. When I was in college, I did it for almost 3 years. So I was pretty much confident with my data structures and algorithm skills, but I was giving this interview in a very casual way, to be honest. It was not something that I really planned for, that, yeah, I will prepare for this for 2 months and then I will go to Goldman Sachs and I will try to knock this down. It was not like that. The recruiter contacted me over LinkedIn and I said that, yeah, why not? It's Goldman Sachs and I'm interested in working with them. So I was not that much prepared. That's what I want to convey. But I have seen that when I'm not that much prepared or when I'm not that much pressurized, I really perform well. And that's what happened on this day. So one of the questions, so dynamic programming ones were very interesting, but there is one question that I want to cover in this video, which is on trees. And the question was something like this. I am really super happy that I was able to do all those things. My mind was super exhausted, and I really wanted to get back to my friend's house. So I really know that it's a bit of painful journey for me to now book that Uber. And it was really horrible. Like again, I spent around 30-45 minutes to get that Uber and finally get back to my friend's place. The Bangalore traffic is something which I don't know. It's something which really demotivates me to work over there. But yeah, this offer that I got from Goldman Sachs was super awesome. Like a couple of my friends have also received Goldman Sachs offer, and trust me guys, I was offered something like 150% of what my friends have received. And I too wanted to join Goldman Sachs, and also after like telling them that I'm not looking forward to join you guys, really sorry for that. But post 2 weeks or something like that, I felt that maybe I should reconsider this, and I tried reopening the gates with Goldman Sachs, but I did not get any response. But still, I would like to say that I think Goldman Sachs is a very good firm. They have a very well-known brand across the world, and they have a really bunch of super talented folks, and it's an honor to work for Goldman Sachs. Let me know in the comments if this was useful and you had fun watching this, and I will see you in the next one.